Well, hello there, everyone. How you doing today? This fantastic Friday, March the 24th of 2023. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I want you to be fantastic. Anyway, this is Mazske Finance coming to you still from South Florida. And I'm not a financial advisor, not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, not a doctor, not a nutritionist. However, it's nothing to sneeze at. Chew! Right? What am I talking about? It's nothing to sneeze about. Here's what I'm talking about. 4.8% interest from a savings account, basic savings account with $2 million worth of FDIC insurance. It is nothing to sneeze at, right? I did some just rough math up here. If you had, as an example, $50,000 in that savings account, you would get approximately $200 in a month. That breaks down to like $6 a day. Not a lot of money, but yet it's 4.8% interest. If you think back to the late 90s, the safe withdrawal rate for a stock portfolio was around 4%. I think further studies more recently have shown it's maybe 3.7%, 3.8%. There was a period of time with, I think, the millennials as they came about when the stock market was roaring, when I started seeing people writing about 5%, 6%, 7% safe withdrawal rate because the stock market's gone up. It was the younger folks and the overly zealous folks saying that studies have shown roughly 4%, 3.7, 4-ish is the safe withdrawal rate. So if you have a stock portfolio of $1 million, you can withdraw $40,000 a year. And in theory, hypothetically, you should never run out of money. Okay? And you adjust every year for inflation. That's how it's set up to be run. But now if you just have a basic savings account, you're saving to get your first rental house. You're saving to have cash reserves. And you get 4.8% interest. That's nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at. Speaking of nothing to sneeze at, have you watched yesterday's video with Tony Okamoto? I think I pronounced his name right. It's a great talk, not from me. It was just me trying to ask her questions that were halfway intelligent. But she's written 2 books now. She, as she said in the video, she learned to eat on a tight budget because she was, I think she said, a single mom under the poverty level, working 2 jobs. It said that in the book, I think, working 2 jobs. And she wanted to eat healthy because she had a family who had a lot of health problems, like bad diabetes, like with amputations and heart disease and that sort of thing. And she learned to eat healthy on a very tight budget, it says in her book. Because it's a cookbook, but yet it has chapters in there you can read. It says in the book that she used to go to stores, back this about 2007-ish, and she'd carry a measuring cup with her. And she would measure out the exact amount of ingredients from those bins so she could buy the exact amount so she didn't pay any extra money. Okay, that's how tight money was. I understand. My money, in that year, my money was pretty tight. It was getting right to the point where I was about to, I won in 2007, I won an award for the work I was doing in the police department promoting literacy. And it was a cash award. And 1 or 2 days before I was to get it, the Commonwealth attorney, the lead prosecutor, told my police chief that it would be illegal for me to accept this award. He called me into the office, the chief did. It was 1 or 2 days before I was to get it and said, Mazske, you cannot accept this. And I was like, why not? And he said it'd be illegal. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm already counting the dollar signs. It was like $7,000 or $8,000. It was a chunk of money. I needed it for my house. I was thinking, do I get new windows? Do I get a furnace? Do I get air conditioning? I had plans for that money. And yet I was told I could not accept it. The foundation that was given the award, they gave it to 10 people. They give it every year to 10 people. Every year the award goes up. And they went to the state legislature and got the law changed where the following year I could receive the award. So the following year I attended and I got the award. But I got the year before's dollar amount, and the folks getting it the next year got roughly $1,000 more than I did. So be it. I greatly appreciated it. It was strange. But I was told when the police chief presented me something, he told the department He's never seen a law get changed that quick. And it was because of me, because this foundation wanted to give it to me for the work I was doing. But anyway, I digress, as I do so many times. Sorry about that. So it's nothing to sneeze at. 4.8% interest. The link will be below for Wealthfront. Something else nothing to sneeze at is Tony's book, Eating Healthy. It's nothing to sneeze at. As I told someone last night who is a workout fiend, whatever, however you say it, nutrition is more important than exercise, but they go hand in hand. Exercise is a close second, okay? But the reason that nutrition is first is you can work out, and die young from some disease from your diet. I just saw in today's newspaper, there's a football player. He's 25 years old. He was just diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Did you hear me say his age? He's 25 years old. Did you hear me say his profession? He plays in the NFL. That is diet related. There's another football player who's retired as a running back, 31-ish years old, just the other year, I forget his name, died of kidney disease. Trey Mancini, former Baltimore Orioles baseball player, then went to the Houston Astros, 27 years old, diagnosed with colon cancer. It's happening to folks younger and younger and younger, okay? Think about that for yourself. If you're out there and you're building that muscle, okay? I got muscles. I'm stronger than I look. I've always been that way, okay? And I'm doing weight-bearing type exercises. But number one is my nutrition, okay? I know I'm talking serious here because it's serious conversation, okay? But with nutrition, you can live, if you eat correctly, I'll just throw out numbers. You might live to be, let's just say, 100 years old, okay? Now, you might be fragile and weak because you don't have muscles and your bones are weak. Maybe you break a bone, but you're healthy on the inside, but you still got weak muscles. If you only exercise your muscles and you eat 80% carnivore diet, meat, you're increasing your risk of all those types of cancers, dementia, Alzheimer's, heart disease, so on and so on and so on. You can be so physically fit, you're a professional athlete. Did you hear what I said? Baseball players, football players, and there's more, and get sick on the inside. And everybody will say, oh, poor guy. You know, I wonder why he got cancer so young. Poor guy. I'm here to tell you, it's happening. I know I did not eat the most healthiest diet. I was always thinnish all my life, but I ate a fair amount of junk food. I loved ice cream. I loved bacon. I loved cooking burgers on the grill, ribeye steak. I ate all that kind of stuff. But I started having my problems, and I didn't know. I'm a guy. I didn't know what it was. It went on for several years. And when I finally went to the doctor, because I was having more of a problem, and they sent me to a gastroenterologist, they did a colonoscopy, and what did they find? They find polyps. Polyps, they were benign, okay? But you cannot get colon cancer without a polyp. All polyps do not become colon cancer, but some polyps do become colon cancer. If you have a colonoscopy and you snip it off, it's guaranteed that polyp will not become cancer, okay? So as long as they don't miss a polyp, polyps grow slowly. They take 10 to 15 years, I think, to grow to become a cancer type thing. So as long as you snip them off, which is painless, you don't feel it, you don't get it, okay? Folks are getting colon cancer younger and younger and younger and younger. Someone I care deeply about told me just the other day, they're 30-ish, and they told me the other day they plan to get a colonoscopy somewhere in their mid-30s. And I said, why? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just said, why? And they said, because they read a book recently about that a rock climber had written. And this person is a rock climber themselves. And they read a book that this elite rock climber had written who got colon cancer when he was like 29 years old. And it like knocked him silly, you know, with the surgery and the chemo and whatever it was, okay? And so this young man told me he was planning to get one probably in his mid-30s. And he eats, I think, halfway healthy. And he exercises. He's in better shape than I am. And stronger than I am. He could do like 30 or 40 pull-ups, I think. And then bench press way more than his body weight. And run probably a marathon. He was in great shape. Okay. But it's what's inside you that can kill you. Okay. So as I said in the title, it's nothing to sneeze at. Okay. 4.8% interest is nothing to sneeze at. All right. The link's below, and I don't get any benefit from it. If I refer someone, I might get a 0.5% boost, but I'm maxed out on my boost. Okay. As far as I know, they're not going to keep extending it because that's what they say. They're not going to. I'm maxed out. But out of all of you who watch all my videos, I think there's only 5 people, and 2 of them are my sons, I think, and another one's a friend, and another friend, and another friend. There's only 5 people that have signed up for this, and it's like, why? Do you have a better bank? I've said this before. Are you getting more interest? If you are, put it in the comments below. I'll transfer my money to your bank if I can get an account set up there. Okay? But if you're just not doing it, sneeze away. Sneeze away. If you don't want to read Eat to Beat Disease by Dr. William Lee, if you don't want to read Fiber Fuel by Dr. Will Buskowitz, how would say his name, if you don't want to watch yesterday's video with that how to eat healthy on a budget, that's all on you. If you don't want to buy a rental property, that's on you. If you don't learn how to save your down payment to buy your first rental house, that's on you. If you can't lose those 25 pounds, that's on you. Now, with that being said, I will say this, and I don't want to offend anybody, but studies have shown, because I've watched a lot of videos recently, studies have shown that what I eat and what you eat, if we could be identical twins and we each eat a kiwi. One of us may have our blood sugar spike higher than the other one, okay? Because even though we're identical twins, and I don't have a twin, on the inside, our microbiome and everything is different, okay? So if it's me and you're a stranger, how a kiwi affects me may differ from how it affects you. How a potato affects me may differ from how it affects you. So on and so on and so on. We're all different, okay? We're all different. So, and I'll elaborate on that in a couple more weeks, all right, with something I'm doing. All right, so, but educate yourself, both on how to be healthy and how to be wealthy, because there's no sense getting wealthy. There's no sense getting financially independent if you die young, okay? Take this seriously. I was young once. I was in my 20s. I was in my 30s. I was a teenager, okay? Think about it, because tomorrow probably will come. And you don't want tomorrow to come and you get some serious health problem. Shoot, I'm talking about sneezing and I might sneeze. You don't want to get some serious health problem. Cancer is out there. Dementia and Alzheimer's is hitting people at a younger age. All these diseases, all these weird diseases, they weren't here before. They're diet related, ultra processed foods. Real quick here and I'll wrap this up. If you take carrots and you chop them up, you processed it, okay? Ultra processed, you take those carrots, you chop them up, and you want to freeze them to sell them, so you put chemicals in them to help preserve them, preservatives, and you want to make them taste a little better, so you add artificial sweeteners and artificial flavors and so on and so on and so on. That stuff, what is it? Look at a nutrition label on a box of cereal. Red dye number 40. What is it? What's it do to us? If we eat it one time, okay. If we eat it 2 or 3 times, okay. But if we eat it continually for years and years and years and years and years, what's it going to do to us? What is it doing to us? It's happening to people younger and younger. All right. Mazske wants you to become financially independent. Mazske wants you to be healthy. Healthy and wealthy, they go together. All right. They go together. There's no reason human beings, I've read this since I was a kid, they think the maximum lifespan, they were saying this when I was a kid, is 120 years old for a human being. Occasionally you hear about somebody hitting it to that age, right around there, 120. But most people drop off in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Someone makes it to 80 and they die of cancer, they're old. They potentially still have 40 years to go. Maybe, maybe not. Because you can't always control trauma, external trauma to you. Maybe you grew up near a nuclear power plant and it was leaking radiation or something. Or maybe you had a bedroom in the basement like I did when I was a kid. Maybe there's radon gas there. Maybe. Okay. Maybe you're in the Navy like I was and you worked around stuff that had PCBs in it, which back in the 80s they said caused cancer. I did. And so on and so on and so on. Maybe you're a cop where you go into meth houses. You get exposed to chemicals. All right. So you try to minimize your external factors, but the food you eat can help your body rebuild itself. But you don't want too much trauma because maybe it can't rebuild that. But you got to eat properly. It's hard. I understand working a job. Trust me, I understand it. It's hard. And certain things may seem expensive. That's why Tony's talk yesterday with her book, How to Eat Healthy on a Budget. It's up to you. I've said it many times going back a year. I've had this channel almost 2 years. I said it going back a year, 18 months ago. Look in the mirror. That is the only person you can blame for anything. Look in the mirror. All right. Now, if you're under the age of 18, living with your parents, and they are doing something to you, yes, you can blame your parents. That's different. Okay. Okay. But take care of yourself. Have a great day. Massey's going to come to you maybe tomorrow from a different location. Have a great day. Stay safe in all you do. Maskey signing out.